Hello, welcome back to GP Nail Art. Jessica here. So I have my nails ready to go. I've already applied my peel base there. And I'm doing a Modelones redo. So I actually went ahead and got a new set of the dip powder liquids, and I got the full size. I'll link the original video where I reviewed their powders and their liquids, but the kit that I had gotten came with trial size liquids, and for me that's really kind of hard to use. So I went ahead and got the full size, and I really love these bottles. I did get them on Amazon. They weren't very expensive, but I believe that Modelones has their own website as well that you could use. It does come with brush replacements, so that's really nice. Came with that little file. And then we have step 00, which is the brush saver. 01 is the base coat, 03 is the activator, 04 is the top coat. I'm not sure whether or not there's a step 2. So just thought it was kind of odd that there's no number 2 in between the base and the activator. Usually that's like 1, 2, 3, but it's 1, 3, 4. So these are three of the powders from the original kit that I had purchased that I'm going to be using today. So kind of like the white, the grayish, and then the glitter. And then in the original video, I didn't use the cupcake liners. I dipped right into the jar, and I kind of found that the powder was a little bit too dense to kind of dip into the jar. It's a little bit small, the jars as well, but I found that after I finished the mani as well, I kind of looked a little bit grainy. So I kind of thought that if I did it again, I would want to kind of pour over instead of dipping into the jar. So that's going to help make the powder a little bit fluffier. And what I'm actually doing right here, because I use the peel base, sometimes that will make your base coat dry really fast. So if you do a layer of the base coat on all of your nails before you go in with any dip powder application, that can slow down the dry time. So I thought when I was looking at this color initially and picking it out, because of that inside of that seal, I thought this was going to be a little bit more on the blue side, but it's kind of really a dark gray. Not mad about it. I was, wanting it to be a little bit more of a bluish kind of color, but it is much more gray than I had wanted it to be. It's still pretty. I still love the way that the mani came out. So I'm not, upset about how any of it came out at all. But I will say that pouring over like this did help the powder look a lot more smooth after I was kind of all done with everything, versus looking a little bit grainy when I dipped into the jar the very first time I used the powders. Also, I kind of feel like I have to get used to this base coat. I feel like it's a little bit more liquidy, I guess, than what I'm used to. It kind of, I don't know if I just need to do a thinner application. Kind of felt like it was, like when you use gel and you kind of, you don't want to put a huge amount of gel because it can kind of, run off into your sidewalls or your cuticle, or, kind of like flood your sidewalls and cuticle. I kind of felt like that's what was happening a little bit. So like I said, I don't know if I just needed to do a thinner application of the base coat. Didn't seem like it was particularly fast or slow drying. You know, as far as the smell is concerned, I think smell is kind of a, you know, different for each individual person. For me, you know, the smell didn't really bother me too much, with the exception of the activator, but I'll get to that later. But, you know, otherwise, everything went on smooth. I didn't really have any problem with any of the liquids at all. Like I said, I think I just need to get used to applying the base coat a little bit differently, because it seems like it's a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a thinner consistency. It's not like a really thick liquid, and so it's kind of hard to explain. But I felt like it was maybe a little bit of a looser consistency where it kind of floods your sidewalls and cuticles much easier than other liquids that I've used. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll get on to the other colors. All right, so I'm going to do a layer of the white dip powder on this finger here. But after this first layer, I'm going to do kind of an ombre with the glitter. I have kind of a hard time in general with white dip powders. They never seem to really want to go on very smooth. So that first layer was kind of lumpy looking. But, you know, after I did 2 more layers, more of the, I did a ombre with the glitter and the white for the next 2 layers on that nail, and then I'm doing the full glitter on my ring finger. And the glitter was really, really pretty. I don't think it can pick up really on camera. It's kind of a silver base, but it also has some like purpley and blue shimmers in it, which is why I was hoping that the darker color was going to be a little bit more, or pull a little bit more blue than it does, but it still worked out well. I think everything really still goes well together. So I'm going to finish up the layers of the glitter on that full nail, and then I'll get into the glitter ombre. And also, I just want to apologize if I sound a little bit funny. I bit the side of my tongue really hard, so I kind of have a canker kind of on the side of my tongue, and it's just hurting the heck out of me right now. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time talking. But we will get through it, I promise. Alright, so for the ombre, I did the full layer of the base coat, and then I am tapping on the glitter up by my cuticle line. I'm kind of pointing my finger downward just a little bit to kind of let some of those glitters kind of free fall down towards the free edge, and then I'm just pouring over the rest with the white. And the second layer I'm going to do the same exact way as well. So again, pointing my finger kind of downward toward the cupcake liner to scoop up some of that glitter and let it kind of free fall, so it's a little bit more dense at my cuticle line and kind of free falling down towards the free edge, and then pouring over with the white. All right, so I'm just going to use my glass cuticle pusher to kind of really get in between the dip powder and my cuticle and sidewalls to clean up any like dip powder residue that might be there. I do prep and clean up like all my cuticles and everything before I actually do any dip powder application. So it's not really so much like, you know, skin or dead cuticle or invisible cuticle that I'm trying to get rid of. It's more like dip powder residue to really crisp up that cuticle line, because everybody likes a nice, clean, you know, line around the dip powder in your cuticles. So that just kind of has been helping me. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and cap everything in clear before I go in to do any of my filing. I am using my regular clear for the dark gray nails, and then I'll switch over to my glitter clear powder for the other two nails. And I'm not going to be filing on camera, just, you know, to keep the video length you know, decent for you. I will activate after this, file off camera, and then we'll be back for the rest. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with the activator. Now, for some reason, and I'm not sure, I don't know if it's just the ingredients, but the activator has a very different, or the Model 1's activator has a very different smell than the other activators that I've used with other companies. I think for other companies it kind of smells a little bit maybe like acetone and alcohol. This smelled like some kind of cleaner, but not really like a good cleaner smell. I don't know, it was really weird. And I looked at the ingredients. The ingredients are different. I'm not really sure what the differences are. I didn't have any problems with the mani. I didn't have any problems with filing or anything like that. It seemed to harden the dip powder just fine. I'm just not a huge fan of the smell. So I don't know how often I would want to use these liquids. But, you know, again, that's a personal thing. If, you know, other activators give you a problem like that notorious, you know, dip flu issues, if that seems to happen with the activator, I mean, this could be an alternative. So that's, you know, something to look into possibly. But I'm going to go ahead and start my top coat application. So for the very first layer of top coat, I'm going to go in with 2 to 3 quick swipes across the whole length of each nail and wipe off the brush on my paper towel prior to going back into the bottle before the next nail. And that's just going to make sure that the activator doesn't contaminate your top coat at all, because that could cause the brush to harden, could cause the liquid inside of the bottle to become contaminated and just not work properly any longer or be shiny and things like that. But when you go in for the second layer, you can do more swipes across the whole nail, be a little bit more thorough, get the free edge, and do all of those things, which I kind of go over in every video. But I think, you know, everybody wants a top coat to be shiny, so it's important to you know, do it in a specific way for the dip powder application. And I have to say, I still actually have this mani on, and the top coat is super, super shiny. I think it's probably one of the most glossy, shiny looking top coats that I've had, like right up there with the Virgo and Gem and Eye Gel. So I am really liking the top coat. So it's definitely, you know, one that I would want to use again. So I did let that dry for a minimum of 5 minutes before I even attempted to touch it or anything, because I wasn't sure, you know, what the dry time would be, but it seemed to be fairly, you know, comparable to other dip liquids. I usually let it go for at least 5 minutes before I, you know, touch it or anything. And I'm going to finish up with my Candy Skincare Cuticle Oil. Let me know what you think of this mani. I know it's fairly simple, but I just wanted to, you know, kind of use the liquids and the dip powders again, and kind of get a, you know, a feel for them again as well. And let me know if you've had experiences with the Modelones dip powder or liquids at all, and let me know what you think of them in the comments as well. Also, welcome to new subscribers. I truly appreciate you joining in and watching my videos. And until next time, bye for now.